is awesome. So can you guys see? You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, so I just want to quickly say I want to congratulate everybody for being here. This is exciting. Steve and Gina just popped in. So just want to let you guys know, you guys wanted to see our upline leadership. Well, here they are.
Okay, so let me find Steve and Gina and put them on the screen. What is
introduce Steve and Gina.
Okay, but I've got to go through my list to find them because I don't see them yet.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing. You got a big list.
Steve Merritt.
Steve Merritt. Hi, Gina. It's George here. I'm looking through.
Hello, George.
Hey, how are you doing?
Excellent, excellent.
Brilliant. You've got here people from Hawaii to Botswana, from Cyprus to Spain to Mexico on this call, reaching into other countries like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Israel, not to mention Nigeria. But
Fantastic, George.
Wow.
Thanks for hosting it with Javi and Olga.
Thank you for coming. And I'm still, there you are. Okay, now I got you. I'm going to add you to the screen, add spotlight. Brilliant. Hey, Gina.
Hey, there we go.
I'm just going to give you, just return for a moment to the screen myself, because we haven't seen each other face to face yet. I'm going to bring Chris to the screen as well, working a lot with Chris in South Africa. A whole thing is exploding here. So I'm right now in a town called Albacete in Spain. We've spent the last 2 weeks in Lisbon, then crossing Spain, stopping in different places along the way, talking about LifeWave with everybody. And yeah, here we are. And this is Chris. Chris is kind of driving force with South Africa, and lots of people are coming in with him. I've been working with Chris for about a year on another project. And we're here on this call with Chris, Helen, Christina, and a lot of other people. So I guess as time goes by, you'll get to know them. And then on this call with us here is Birgit, who's a German lady in Mallorca, who was quite doubtful, but now is full on with LifeWave. The person who is responsible for this is called Beverly, and she sent me a video, and she said, please, this is Beverly. She said, please watch this video. It's about stem cells. And I said, I'm not interested in stem cells. So I've read about them. They're made out of stolen fetuses and placenta. And I really don't want to know about it. And she said, no, this is different. Please watch it. So I watched the half-hour video with David Schmidt speaking to health professionals. And I said, if this is real, this is revolutionary, and I need to talk to somebody. She got me on a call with Javi. Okay. Javi and I hit it off immediately. On the second call with Javi, I said, you know what? I got to go now. It's my birthday in 4 minutes. He said, I don't believe it. It's my birthday too.
Oh my God.
so two Libras figuring stuff out together. And the other thing is then on that, I think on the first call, Mike came on the call, and that's when we met as well. So I wanted to say all of that, and thank you so much for coming. And you know what? I'm sure I'm going to ask you to come again.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Once we start, we never stop. We're just like Javi and Mike. We just keep going.
Yay. Awesome.
You know what? We love the fact, George, thank you so much. Javi, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to, again, congratulate everybody for being here. You could have been doing other things with yourself, with your time right now, but you rather have been here to see our leadership. And I want to give them a great thank you for being here, because they are busy. Steve and Gina, they came on here today and they have to hop back off because they have another meeting they have to do. You know, so I just want to introduce them. I've been in business with them before. I've known them about 15 years. And Steve, Gina, and Mike, they're responsible for how I am today. My knowledge, my excitement, you know, my entrepreneurship came through them. And I want to thank them for turning this around and us being in business again. And Steve and Gina, Mike Hernandez, here's the international team. A bunch of countries are here. Some of more South Africa could have been here, but they have load shedding with electricity issues over there, so they couldn't come on, but they'll see the recording. So I'm going to start off with Steve and Gina. I know your time is important, so Steve, just
sorry.
Yeah, George.
And just one other thing, I want to give a shout out. Sylvia is here from Madrid. She has a big Instagram following, and we're going to be doing Instagram lives in Spanish.
Fantastic. Sylvia, welcome to the team, Sylvia. And
if
Beverly.
Steve and Gina can start, just pour into the team, tell them where this company is going, how important, and the position that they are in right now, the fact that they should take advantage of this, because we were in pre-launch, now we're in launch. Okay, after our conference that we had last Saturday was amazing. So I'm going to leave it to you guys to do your thing.
Before I disappear, I would say, can we do a conference every 3 to 4 months, maybe 3 times a year, or is that too much?
I think we should do one like once a month.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm for it.
And the
I
great
think
thing,
3 months is too far.
you know,
Okay, I just didn't want to
Maybe-
overload you.
No, no, no.
and maybe sooner, and maybe we need to.
It's a Zoom. I've got my workout shorts on. I tricked you guys.
I love it. Oh, yeah.
We're
Go ahead,
not
Steve,
to work. Come on. This is fun.
George,
Yes.
you're going to find out real quick that you're not going to have any more fun than being in business with Gina. Bobby knows that. Mike and Sai know that, and Olga knows it. So it's we're going to have a great time. But we're serious. I mean, as fun as Gina is, she is serious about her friends winning. That is what we prayed for over a year for our friends. And we weren't praying for ourselves. We knew we could win at whatever we're doing, but we want our friends to succeed at whatever we could find. And we didn't know what we were praying for, just kind of like what you were saying.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was stem cells. We just praying. And our friend Onyx Cole, who we had known history together, so much so that our teenage daughters, now they're in their 30s, when they were teenagers, they babysat for her toddler girls. I got 3 daughters and a son. She has 3 daughters, and the daughters were toddlers. My daughters were teenagers. And they watched her kids for 3 years. And when my kids couldn't
Every day.
and when my kids couldn't cover, because she was very successful in real estate, and when my kids couldn't cover babysitting for them, we babysat for them. So we had a lot of history way before we even started networking. She never built a network in her life. We told her about our last journey that Mike and myself and Javi were involved in with the juice business. And it was incredible times we had, but we didn't know what we had our hands on. Just like when I signed up with the X39, I didn't know what I had my hands on. But she never built a network, but we really taught her how powerful this. Get this, she had Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow board game in her real estate offices, learning about passive income. And I said, Onyx, that's exactly what we do. And when the light bulb went on, we all broke records between all of us. It was crazy. And she went on to make $17 million with us and sold her business for $4.5 million. So when we say help our friends, we're not talking just a little bit of a life change. We changed a ton of lives. Just the matter of the money that she made. She's a blessing to people. Yeah. So think about how much she tithed and gave away from all that money that she made, as well as all of our friends. So this is way bigger, life-changing than just, you know, we're not just talking about when we find something and we're serious. We've been married for 36 years. We got 4 kids, 5 grandkids.
You're making it sound like it's all been a piece of cake.
My wife was a flight attendant for 25 years. I was a pro athlete for 25 years. So we're like stick to it people. We like glue. In fact, when the company bought our last company, we did our best to make that thing work for 6 years, but none of our friends were winning for 6 years. So we said, hey, we've did everything we possibly could. We got to pray for something. And when I threw a party for Gina at our house on April 1st, so we still took 90 days after we heard about this to research, interview the owner. Are you gonna be able to keep up with us, is what Gina asked. And basically everybody had quit our old business. So we just did everything that everyone else did. We picked up the phone. We didn't use social media. We know enough to be dangerous on social media. We don't know. I mean, what I'm saying is we don't really know that much, but we kind of click buttons and somehow we can do something. But I purposely, when I asked Onyx, did you ever make a post on Facebook for the last 5 years? Because I didn't see nothing. No, and I don't have an Instagram. I actually love that. So I only picked up my phone for the first 90 days, purposely didn't even make a post, just sitting here in my office, pacing back and forth, telling everyone about stem cells, like Brenda called you. Brenda, was it Brenda, right?
Beverly.
Beverly, like Beverly called you.
That's how I work, and I meet people every day, new people who I haven't met the day before, and that's kind of how I do.
Yeah. So we're here, and we've got all of this international, and so it's different time zones everywhere that you're at. So we might even have to segment it a little bit. South Africa probably can't work with Australia because it's too many different time zones. But between all of us, George's leadership, your leadership, Beverly's leadership, Mike and Javi, Gina, we all can get a game plan on how we can help everybody win and succeed.
Yeah.
But I will encourage everyone that the patch is so easy to talk. I mean, look you've only been in a short time and we got all these people on here today. Take it times 2 or more because there's more than one person on most of the Zooms. How simple it is to open your mouth to a product technology that nobody else has. And from my experience in 180 days, from the first day that I made a phone call on July 1st, I can't get anyone to say that they're not interested or intrigued by reactivation of stem cells, especially their own stem cells. And when I do tell them that at 30 years old, I didn't know this as a pro athlete for 25 years, that half of my stem cells were active. Doesn't take long to become 30. At 25, you're almost there. You know what I mean? Sure. And then at 60, your stem cells are basically stagnant, and nobody wants to walk around. Yeah. Not anymore, And even if you're talking to somebody very successful, I said to my friend that said, I'm selling my company for 60 million. I said, hey, Jason, I don't care if you're selling your company. You might not want to make money with me, but you definitely don't want to have $60 million in your pocket with stagnant stem cells. Sure. So that's a good caveat for anyone that says they are successful. Say, you want this patch then more than anyone because you already live in life. You're living your dream. What are you going to limp around your dream? Let's go make it happen. And he said, no, I love blessing people, helping people. Give me that diamond pack right now. So you don't know what anyone's thinking. Mostly the most successful people, they're not so stuck in their little pay the bills mentality. They're thinking more philanthropy and wanting to help other people and make a difference in this world. So that's what this product, what I love about it too, is its emotion. Like, if you got something that all we're doing is making money, it really isn't as fun as when you can bless somebody within an hour, 1 day, 2 days, even if it's 30 days for the patch to work, their life can be changed before we even start making the first dollar. Because
so I often say to people, because a lot of people are involved in crypto. Number one, crypto, you can be passionate about it to a certain point, but it's only interesting to 15 or 20% of the population. Health, 80%, 90% of the population. And lots of people who had said no to me about other things, they said, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's talk. Right.
Yeah, I'm at my dentist office and he's never wanting to see anything, even networking that all have the same products, right. Weight loss supplement and skincare is mostly what they have. Now they've added, the essential oils or the CBD. But here in America, if anyone's been here, there's a CBD seller on every corner. Every gas station sells CBD. Everybody has CBD. So you don't know which one is the best one. So when you have stuff that everyone else has, that kind of turns them away from getting started with you. But when you have something that reactivates your own stem cells, my dentist who's just recent retired, it's like, oh, now that, just like you said, that sounds very interesting. And that is really a unique opportunity for us, what we got our hands on. So for all of you that are here, Gene and I, we've picked up the phone. We're building 2 legs, the same as we're telling everyone else to do the exact same thing. We're putting people right and putting people left. But we have the time right now to help all of us, counting Mike, counting George, counting everyone that's on here, is we have the time to help everybody win and succeed. We put 1 million people in our last run. So when it gets to be 1 million, it gets kind of crazy. But right now we got time to help everyone. So it'd be the perfect time. And from my experience of the ones that had the success last go around, the ones that got in early with us, that were built, that we all created the momentum together to $1 billion, they had the most momentum and energy and success in their business. So maybe timing isn't perfect for you, but you should really consider reevaluating what you got to do. And come on, we could patch 3 people a day. We can follow up with 3 people and put somebody on a Zoom like this once a day, or put them in front of the enrollment form, or watch a quick video on the startx39.com and sign them up. It didn't take none of us that long to sign up. So don't look for people that need to be so analytical or so skeptical that they can't, fill out the paperwork. And by the way, as long as you plant the seed, Onyx did tell you that it took us a while to get going because we wanted to make sure for our friends it was the right thing. So I'm not, I don't hold anything back on someone taking their time, making their decision, because I took my time. So, but make sure you move on and just keep planting the seed with them, because they will get in. It's just a matter of time. As soon as, if you just make sure you tell them that statement of, the reason why people feel sluggish as they get older. Now they're starting to think. Whenever they feel sluggish, they're going to remember George, because he said, remember, George told me, if I feel sluggish, okay? And then if you have any pains or aches, recovery is slower as your stem cells get stagnant and you're more prone to sickness and disease. Any of that stuff happens, which it will, they're going to be calling you to say, how can we get on that X39? So the key is to plant the seed and just let it drip on them.
Yeah.
I'm a natural seed planter all day long.
So some of the greatest testimonies, matter of fact, the one that he was talking about, the gentleman who sold his company for 60 million, he gave us a name to call, and the gentleman had a stroke like a year and a half ago, and he was not progressing at all. So we would say to him, he'd actually call us, him and his wife, and we would do the call together with him. And Steve would say, "Can you say hi, Rick?" And all Rick could say is, "eh." And I'm not making fun of him by any means, because he had a massive stroke, but he wore the patch, and 6 months later, he's tried everything. 6 months later, after wearing the patch, we do a call with him, and Steve says, "Can you say, hi, Rick?" And he said, "Steve, this is so cool." I'm like screaming and jumping and crying. I'm like, this is just amazing. Just absolutely incredible. So that's probably our the most extreme testimony we've had.
There's a lady here called Ingy. Ingy, would you just tell Steve and Gina your story with one patch? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Okay, great. Ingy.
Can you open your microphone, Ingy?
You might have had load shedding.
Okay.
If she's not on the call.
Hi there.
Okay.
No, I am.
There we go.
I
Okay,
am.
great.
I keep drifting in and out. I had a motor car accident when I was 19 years old, and I damaged the C1 and C2. And what happened is, at the time, I started getting the most incredible pain attacks, and nobody knew what it was. And at that stage, I was 19 years old. And they said to me, "Well, you've got to go into traction, and you should go into traction for about 2 years, and then we'll be able to pull it straight and your nerve won't pinch." And our band had a huge hit, and we went on tour, so I couldn't go into traction. So as I've gotten older and older, it's just become worse. So in my 30s, I was having 1 attack a month. In my 40s, I was having 1 attack a week. When I got into my 50s, I was having an attack almost every day. When I got into my 60s, and I'm turning 66 on my next birthday, I started having 3, 4, 5 attacks every single day. And it got to the point where I couldn't go to sleep, because when I would lie down to sleep, I would move my neck without knowing and hurt myself and start an attack. And I've tried everything, literally, and they didn't know that I had trigeminal neuralgia. So they pulled out all my teeth, and they said, "No, there's something wrong with your jaw and your gums." And once they pulled out the teeth, they then turned around and said, "Oh, no, sorry, you've got trigeminal neuralgia," because I still had toothache where I now had no teeth and no nerves. So yeah, there I was with no teeth and still having my attacks. And Wilson called me up and he said, I've got some patches, you must try them. And I said, hey, it's not going to work for the trigeminal neuralgia. Nothing works. I've tried stuff that works initially, and then your body gets used to it and it doesn't work anymore. So he came around on Monday this week, and at about 8 o'clock in the evening, he put a patch on my neck. At this point, I have to say that every day my pain levels were between 3 and 5, and that was normal for me without having an attack. If I had an attack, my pain level was 12 out of 10. And I was having about 2 to 3 attacks a day. And the rest of the day, while I wasn't having an attack, I just had this terrible pain in my neck, so much so that I had to wear a neck brace because I couldn't hold my neck up. So Wilson put the patch on my neck on Monday evening, and within 15 minutes, the head and neck pain that I had was gone. And I haven't had an attack or any pain since then. Now, normally, if I lie on a high pillow, I will have an attack because then my neck is at the wrong angle. And last night, I fell asleep on a double pillow, woke up this morning, and I started to feel a little bit of that niggly pain in the base of my neck. So I took the patch off my neck, put it on my head, and within 5 minutes, that pain was gone again. So I'm now 4 days pain-free, and I've never experienced anything like this in my life. I'd become so depressed because I couldn't get up in the mornings. I'd wake up having an attack and just have to lie there and wait until I could move. So this has changed my life 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They might have taken your teeth, but they didn't take your mouth and your mind, because now we can
No, they didn't.
patch to everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Well,
What a great testimony.
yeah, I tell you. And if you have a look, and I'll put I'll put a video on our group thread, which talks about the kind of trigeminal neuralgia that I have, which is type 1 and type 2. And most people who have this disease kill themselves within the first 3 years. They call it the suicide pain because it hits the trigeminal nerve, which is all the nerves in your face. So when you have an attack, you cannot do a thing. I cannot move, I cannot walk or talk or do a thing. And it's gone. Well, I'm sitting in trepidation, and every morning as I wake up, I think, oh, is it going to come back? Is it going to come back? Yeah, so I'm just so happy to be on these patches. No ways am I stopping.
And Ingi, where do you say you live?
I live in South Africa, Johannesburg.
Okay, Johannesburg.
Fantastic. Can you do us a favor, and when you get a chance, either have somebody video you or just put your phone on against a chair or on a table?
Yes, and do a testimonial. I will do.
Do a short one,
Yes.
maybe 3 minutes, but tell them what you just said and send it to Mike and send it to Javi, and we're going to get that on our Facebook testimonial page, because that's just an incredible testimony.
Yes, it is.
But sure, finish it till you're done. Finish it till you're done, because you got an incredible story. We want to hear it.
Absolutely. Well, on the second day of having this, I phoned a girlfriend of mine, and she looked at me and she says, "What have you done?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Your face looks different. It's less swollen. You look alive. Your eyes are sparkling." And I felt that way as well. I was reading on our group chat, the one woman who said she can't sleep now. Well, I always can't sleep because I have so much energy. But now with this patch, I also can't sleep. Last night, I sat making a list of people I'd like to give patches to, and I ended up with 80 people on my list. So I've got to hurry up and start making money so that I can keep on the patches myself while I'm giving them away. Yeah.
That's right. That's our goal. That's our goal for you. That's awesome.
And by the way, those that are on, we use testimonies like Ingi and the people, because we didn't have one when we first started July 1st. We talked about everybody else's, but it doesn't take long to start getting people's testimonies. You just start putting patches on people, and you're going to hear testimonies that are going to bring you to tears. We've been crying for the last 180 days more than we cried in 5 years from what's going on with this.
Amazing. Yeah, I get that. I get that. It's amazing. Well, the friend of mine who watched me on the video call, she signed up that same day, got her patches yesterday. Oh no, I gave her one that I had, and she put it on her sister, who's also had pain for months and months and months, just doesn't go away. And within 15 minutes, her pain was gone.
Oh, God bless.
So, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And my housemate, he came in while we were sitting talking about it. He immediately signed up. He got his patches today as well. Immediately put them on and said to me, I'm getting my girlfriend to sign up as well. So yeah, we're getting going here. Yeah.
Well, you're going to pass
excited.
all up with your testimony and people
Wow.
visually seeing it. Incredible, incredible.
Yes, yes. Well, give me another week or two.
Yeah,
then
that's
I'm going to
great.
look great. Yeah.
I love your laugh. I love your laugh.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Well, Steve and I
Yeah.
are blessed and honored to be a part of this Zoom. We're looking forward to getting each one of you to the finish line. I mean, you have absolutely the best upline. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about Javi and Olga, and I'm talking about Mike and Saeed. Absolutely incredible upline that you have. We all work together, amazing as a team. We've have history in the past, and we're going to make more history right now with each one of you guys. I mean, we're just starting.
Yeah.
We're just launching. I don't know how many days it is. Mike, do you know how many days? Because
No.
you got it day right. We signed up. So
It's just around 190 days.
yeah,
You
so
know,
that's not very long at all. I mean, we literally are loading the rocket ship right now as we're talking. So I mean, this is just amazing. We're excited for each one of you and the different countries that you're at. We look forward to coming there. We're not afraid to fly and travel and come help you and do an opportunity meeting and meet you guys and have some fun eye to
I will
eye.
take you out on my boat. Take you out on the boat in Mallorca.
Yes, we're all in.
Of course, we want to go. Like I said,
Steve skiing.
We're all about having fun, but we're serious. I mean, there's a time to really get serious, and right now is the time to fit this in your busy schedule. And I will say that we are, if you plug in to exactly what we're doing now, some of you are out of the time zones that we're in, but at least get the replays, and then you start duplicating what we're doing as far as getting your people on a Zoom. I'm actually blown away by the success everyone has had with only, because I asked Onyx, I said, did you do any meetings? She literally was the one that took LifeWave from 20 million to 280 million. Now, the ones that were in followed what she was doing when they saw her success. Like we heard on the call, some of those people on Saturday are from other lines that heard what we were doing, and they're like, I want to be a part of this, because they don't have near the momentum that's going on right now. So what I'm trying to say is that when she did that, I asked her, did you do any meetings? She said, no, only Zooms. You know how most people, like in network marketing, they kind of shy away because they got to go to meetings and they got to plug into, they got to get babysitters and drive across country or fly into other countries. Not that we're not going to do in-person meetings. We just did a tour. Gene and I did over the holidays, 15-city tour. But I love the fact that her success and now this success that we're having right here mostly came from a Wednesday and a Saturday Zoom call. Now, of course,
sorry, I would tell you that we're in English. We're doing a Zoom every Wednesday and a workshop every Thursday. So today's Thursday, and this is kind of the workshop for this week with you guys. Thank you. Yeah. And in Spanish, we're doing the same with Yvette, who's on the call. Yvette in Merida in Mexico. We've done a lot of calls for other projects. So we do a Monday call and a Thursday call in Spanish at the time for the US and Mexico. And we're going to be doing a workshop in Spanish. So there'll be 2 calls a week in Spanish, European time, South African time, 2 calls a week in English.
And do in Mexico, we're just getting, it's wide open. Yeah. Now we all got to
wide open everywhere.
What I see, to me, I keep saying, you've probably heard me say it already, but it's like a 19-year-old startup company. Been around for 19 years, but Mike had to help us make a Spanish flip chart because they didn't even have a Spanish flip chart. So I've got a Spanish
presentation I've worked on with Yvette's husband, and it's very, yeah, anyways.
You know, we're going to have our one that we're putting online in English. Feel free. My daughter makes them for us. If you like what you see, I'm working together with Mike and Javi. We're all doing it together. I will say that there's a lot of things you might want to say to a new person, but it could overwhelm them.
Yeah.
So when you see there, you might say, well, man, I wonder why you guys left this out. We could talk about it, but the newest person, we don't want to overwhelm them. There's only so much stuff that we really have to say to get them to see it. And then we can talk to that more we can do that more in a teaching like we're doing today to help people understand that. But a normal short presentation for telling them about the technology and the X39, we're going to keep it simple.
I agree. The one we did, we eliminated everything that wasn't necessary, every word that wasn't necessary. And that means that people can use it and then add their stories without, yeah, anyways.
Perfect.
Sorry, can I
really-
please ask a question? If we want to translate it into Greek, we'd like to get maybe a personal call with you to find out how we can expand it into Cyprus and Greece, and also how to open up countries. So if it's possible, please to have a private chat about that. That would be great, please, if that's possible.
And what we'll do for you, and what was your name?
Helen. It's Helen.
Helen. Okay.
Sorry,
Helen.
I'm on somebody else. I'm actually at a dinner party and I asked them to allow me to attend the Zoom. I asked me when to go for the dinner. I said, hold on.
Okay, thanks for asking. And we love Greece, so we can't wait to come there. What we'll do is when my daughter finishes, we're just about done to post it on the quantum field team, which is build 331. And then what we'll do is she's going to make it so that you could take the English version and a blank template and you could type it in Greek. I mean, so you'll be able to just put on your on the template everything that you translate it. You just type it in, because it's not very, the words on the thing on our presentation, we only want to have the new person just read 3 bullets at the most on each page, nothing very long, just so it's very simple, so there's not much typing.
And probably the biggest reason why you don't want to have too much on there. So let's just say I'm just brand new. Mike just sponsored me. If there's so much for me to read, it's so overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
I might not do a Zoom. I might not share the opportunity, but when it's simplified and it's just, some key points, and if they can't get the key points, then they need to go see the doctor and make sure their heart's beating.
Put 2 patches
I'm just
on.
kidding. But the simpler that we keep it, it's more duplicatable. So like all of us, Javi, Mike, Steve, and Gina, we're all working together. We're like on the same train track because we want to get everyone to the finish line. So the easier and the simpler and the more duplicatable we keep everything, the system, it's just going to roll like there's no tomorrow, especially as your new people are coming in. They're going to start coming in really fast. And this flip chart is so simple that it's easy for anyone to be able to use it.
Gina, we're very happy about that because we find that it is overwhelming and a lot of us love to go into the science, and it's very deep and it's really, there's so much. The patch has a universal language on its own, whether people understand it or not. You just put it on them and it will work itself, right? But it's very important to have a simple format to follow, to duplicate, and that would be amazing. Please, if we could work on that together, that would be absolutely amazing for all of us. It would help us to spread the word and really get the patches out there.
That's right.
Thank you for that. And also just to find out also from you, please, how to open up, expand countries. We need to find the criteria to meet for that, please. Okay, if I don't know who to speak to about that. And one last thing is, when you say to somebody, go and speak to your doctor, I'm sorry, the doctor doesn't understand what the patch is about. So when you say to someone, go and consult your doctor, what are you supposed to tell the doctor?
I really never say that because I know what they're going to say. So I don't really say, I don't tell them to consult their doctor. If they want to do it, they can, but I don't ever give them I'm not telling them to get off their medicine or nothing. I just keep it simple. Whatever you have, stay on your medicine and take the patch. If they want to go to their doctor and talk to them, they can. But if you're going to go for instance, we had a lady that has a 93-year-old aunt. She did her testimony and the doctor said, you can't put the patch on until we do the blood work. Her pancreas was bad, her liver was bad, her blood was bad. She wears the patch for 3 weeks. The doctor is blown away, tells the niece to come and explain to her doctor's team of 5 locations in town here where we live and explain how this works, because all of their locations are going to be using this stem cell reactivation patch. So
completely reversed her spleen and her liver completely.
So the blood work did the talking. So, you know, that you can, in somebody that's been taking blood work, because if they're that tuned in with their doctor, I'm not. But if somebody is, they've been doing blood work.
Well, it's because we don't like our doctor. We go for a physical, but we don't really like her.
Why are you here? My wife's making me come to the physical.
Why are you not getting vaccinated? Why are you this? Why are you that? I'm like, I'm here for physical. Let's get to it.
So anyways, the key though is if they're that in tune, they should be getting lab work anyway. So when they put the patch on, they'll see what their lab work was. But anyone that's had to go so deep into me working with their doctor to get the thing, I have to admit, this is moving so quickly that I have to it's up to the person. If their mind's not open, there's not much I could do, you know, other than share the patch. They either want to try it or they don't. So, but you'll see. You already said it earlier. The patch does the talking. Just let it do the talking with the people. Keep it that simple. But there's only a rare few people that have to.
Yeah, and when they're talking to their doctor, and they need to stay on their medicine, follow all the directions of the doctor.
Yeah.
And the doctor's going to say, hey, your blood pressure is, you know, like coming down. We don't need to take as much medicine.
Right.
Then he will tell them take less medicine. But the biggest thing, if the doctor is skeptic, they need to say to the doctor, well, then let's do blood work before. Let me wear the patch for 6 weeks or 3 weeks. Let's do the blood work again for a follow-up and see what happens.
Right.
That's what you need to do.
And by the way, real quick before you said, I've never in my history of 180 days seen more doctors enroll and promote a product.
I mean, Mike's whole neighborhood.
Now there's still doctors that don't. So I can't, that's just kind of like people or doctors. They're all different kinds of people. But I've never seen in my life, and I'm not talking just my friends, Mike's friends, Hobby's friends, all our friends, Linda's friends who's on here, many friends of friends, doctors are all excited. I mean, last night we had a testimony of a chiropractor who's tearing it up. Mike is helping a chiropractor, and the whole family is medically engaged in wellness, and they're just rocking it. And if you listen to the seminar we did on Saturday, there was a chiropractor, and before he got off, he said, in my entire years, and he's not, you know, he's been doing his practice for a long time. And he said he's never in the history, what did he say, he's never seen the results from his actual doing the chiropractor work compared to the results of the patch. He's blown away. And that's exactly like the lady last night speaking. Yeah. She said she's going around as soon as they walk in, she's patching them, because she said, I've seen what it's done. It does more than their service that they're going to get when they come in. So she's blown away.
Can I ask one last question, please? Is it at all possible to do, just the last one, George, is it at all possible to do a training on the actual patches themselves? For example, on each one of them, just once, and then also, do you have case studies or a library of information that is compartmentalized into different illnesses, for example, diabetes, cancer, etc.? We know we have resources on testimonies, and we know we have the science in the back office, but is there a go-to place where we could literally go in on specifics of conditions?
Okay, real quick, it's like a 19-year-old startup, so we have what we have, and we'll keep working on getting more improved. But right now, it's growing so fast with what we're doing that it's very difficult to start working on all kinds of paperwork type of stuff. You know what I mean by paperwork, making videos, getting files, getting all these things. So we're using what we got. We have some people that are helping us. But we
personally don't know about any of the other patches.
We don't talk about any patch of any other patch. We only talk about
and I really don't know anything about any of them. I only know X39. I'm being completely honest.
By the way, the doctor spoke, if you didn't hear him, he said he tried talking about all the patches. It did not work.
The chiropractor
So the
on
only
Saturday.
thing out of his 12 years, he's been in it for 12 years, and we embarrassed him by how fast our business grew and how many more testimonies we have than he has. So he's busy trying to figure out this patch goes on your pinky and this one goes here, and we got to put this other green one here and this one here, and it didn't work. So he said, take all of that out the window and only use the X39. It's 80% of their sales, by the way, because it works. It's the only, it does everything the other ones do. But you will, if you get on a corporate call or you hear some corporate, they have to talk about all their other patches. But realistically, if you want to have health success, and you know that almost everything that somebody's going through, they'll be blessed by the X39, and financial success for sure. There won't. Anyone in Europe that stayed focused, Onyx did this talk on our call as well. They hired her to come, or they asked her, would you please come and speak at the European convention, because nobody has any momentum, because they're all still trying to talk about all the different patches. So if you stay focused, and even David is saying, hey, the X39 is the #1 patch.
X39, I say this all the time, X39, X39, X39. So let's continue. Thank you, Helen.
Have you been onto the Start X39 site? Because that's where I would go. And then the Telegram has testimonies. So, I mean, there's just so much information.
Yeah, but I will say this much too, that it's a good thing for us to learn, because when somebody says, I've heard of networking, or I've tried networking, we're hearing many, many testimonies of people that have been in the industry. So this is for all of you that, you know, they were in this products with many products. So it's kind of like, if you have to talk about all the patches, now you're back in that same category that you got to teach somebody too many things. So that's why they didn't have success, because they had to learn about the skincare. They had to learn about the weight loss. They had to learn about the supplements. If you only have to talk about stem cell reactivation, and that's like the biggest market in wellness right now, it's such a simple conversation and anyone can have it. All of our friends that couldn't sponsor a fish, okay, they couldn't sponsor anyone for 6 years, come over here. And my one friend, Aunt B. So if you have a friend that her nickname is Aunt B, she must be just like your aunt. You know what I mean?
She's so
Picture
sweet.
your aunt. She's just a sweet lady making apple pie. You know what I mean? She's not a smooth
79-year-old lady.
Okay. She's got 180 people sponsored, not personally, but in her group in the last 170 days. And she's crushing it compared to couldn't sponsor anyone with all these other products. So you can help other people. Your question kind of got me to help everyone that people really want this industry to work. Am I right, George? Who wouldn't want to have a residual income coming in for the rest of your life? I mean, Jean and I, we've been living the dream life for years. She retired. When did you retire from?
August 1st of 2008.
So since 2008, we've been basically hanging out with our friends, okay? And because of what the industry has done for us. So everybody would like it. You just, if you can find a product, like you said yourself, Helen, because your name says Anthony, so I get a little, Helen, is that if the patch does the talking, that's what we want. That's what we prayed for our friends, for the product would just do the talking for them.
So let me just say one more thing. The patch. Okay, I'm just going to list off a few things that this X39 has. From my own eyes, I have seen dramatic, amazing, miracle testimonies. MS, cystic acne, Alzheimer's, dementia, anxiety, weight loss, skin issues, bowel, intestinal. I mean, I can go on and on. Back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain. So why in the world, if this tiny little patch does all that, weight loss? I mean, come on, we don't even have to drink a protein shake. You know what I mean? This is amazing. And most of the protein shakes have a product in it, carcinogen, I think it is, that causes cancer. So, I mean, come on, this is absolutely incredible what we have our hands on. I lost 7 pounds. My daughter's lost, I think, 30 pounds now. Just incredible. Just this little tiny patch. Cramps. My daughter Chloe had her period the other day, had cramps. She put the patch on her leg right here, right there. Her cramps were gone in 15 minutes. Hello?
Yeah, and
No
she's
Midel.
young.
I'm like,
She's like 29.
she's like meeting people like everywhere. She does real estate and she's a homeschool teacher, travels around and teaches. And she's like, Mom, I've never seen anything like this. This is the easiest thing to talk about.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
So take that and realize that we've got major momentum happening. Now's a great time to really ride the momentum that is going on and sticking with the team. And, if you just relax when you talk to people, you can kind of, you give everybody the information that they need to get them to make their decision.
Right.
And then it's up to the person. You're only planting seeds, like George is saying. So you do that and you realize that we've got all of our support and we're all doing the exact same thing that we're telling you to do. We're getting no's, we're getting people say yes, people that say no. I really can't get anyone really though seriously to tell me they want to live with stagnant stem cells. So it's very difficult. It's very interesting when you talk to them that way. But just stick to what we're teaching. I like to lead with the product. And then, oh, by the way, because no one else has this incredible technology that's recently patented, it's a very lucrative business opportunity. So you just leave it at, so I never just talk about the product. If you only talk about the product, you end up with a bunch of people that only want to talk about the product and you don't have a business that grows. So as long as we're all on here tonight or today, I wanted to just tell you that I always start, hey, I don't know if you're open to better health. You've been looking, might be a shot in the dark, but I came across some technology that reactivates your own stem cells. How does it work? You put it on, it works. And I tell them that, like Gina said, and then you at 30 years old, half of them are, I didn't know this. And at 60, none of your stem cells are active. You have them. And did you know that? Let them talk a little bit and say, hey, by the way, because this is recently patented, nobody has it and everybody wants it. It's a very lucrative business opportunity. So I'll send you some information to get you going, to show you the startx39.com or whatever you have in your country. Because remember, maybe we don't have everything that you need on our stuff, but it's like a startup company and we'll eventually help get everything translated wherever it needs to be.
That's right.
But in the meantime, you kind of got to use what you have because that's all we got to work with. It's like I could go through, this is I know this industry. I taught Onyx how to build a business. So I could go through and say, oh, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. I'm like, no, we're just going to run with what we got because it's too good. So keep it simple. Of course, every one of us, George, you're a huge, your team's going to have huge influence, especially because it's so international. We're going to need, everybody brings, Onyx has said this many times, everybody brings something different to the table.
But you know what Chris said? Chris said, you know what's wonderful about this? I don't have to make everything. It's all there already.
That's what we said. And we're good at it.
Yeah.
We're good at it, but we don't want to have to do all that. We want to keep it simple so that we're not tied down to it. And it's only going to improve. We'll make it better and better. It'll be more and more languages, but I did know on the resources in your back office, there's many different videos and information about whatever country you're living in. So you can at least start with that if we don't have all the info on our stuff. And
probably the biggest thing is just stay focused in your building, because sometimes we can try to think that we need to recreate this, recreate that. And it's, I don't want to say a waste of time, but it's a distraction. And really the stories sell this patch.
Yeah.
We really don't even need a flip chart and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we have it for everyone, because then we are not traveling, I'm not coming over to you every time. I can do a presentation right with the Zoom.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that just keep it simple, because you want to be duplicatable. You want to get your team going and make money and going manager, going director.
And by the way, Spain, we want to come to Spain. We want to come to Greece. We want to come to Hawaii. We want to come to South Africa. Wherever you're on here, we're all coming and we're going to have a blast when we come there. But I love this technology that we can at least be building in different parts of the world. And the fact that that LifeWave over the last 12 years did open up 75 different international markets is allowing all of us to have incredible success here. Now there's countries like Brazil that Mike and I would love to have open. That's a big check mark I really wanted to have, but they're not. So we have to stay focused in the markets that we're in, because anywhere around the world, they're sleeping. The lady in charge of Europe, she's my friend. She was with me in the Monavie juice business. Okay. She's in charge of all of Europe. Claudia Henderson, or her last name is, I forgot her last name, but her name is Claudia. Okay. And she's a friend of mine. So George, anyone that you know that you need help with anywhere in the international in Europe,
yeah, she's amazing.
And South Africa, she's in charge of that market. And she said to me, I watched you guys work in December, and almost everyone here in Europe that I know of, the leaders, they all took a nap. They all slept during December. I wish we had people in Europe that had your work ethic that you guys did in December, where you did like a 20 city tour all over the country. And so, you know what I'm saying? That's telling me that it's wide open. They got the markets there for us, but they're wide open for all of you.
Yeah.
She personally told me that 2 days ago.
That's great to hear. I heard you say about being in a restaurant and saying out loud in a loud voice, I help people regenerate their stem cells. And I've been using that. I've been doing that. The other day I met a guy, he says, what do you do? I'll help people regenerate their stem cells. And he's like, what? Oh. Yeah. Okay.
George, that's a key word that people love. That's my key words are reactivate or regenerate your own stem cells. When I tell them that their stem cells start getting stagnant or stop reproducing from 30 to 60, that really sits them up to the table. Okay. And that's all you really need to say when it comes to the stem cell part of it. Obviously, then, if you feel sluggish, so you're like, putting that to them, like, are you having trouble with your memory? Do you feel sluggish? You seeing that you're not on your game, or you take longer to heal? Of course, that's everybody. Now they're all ready for you on that part. And then say, hey, the company, because of this brand new technology that just was patented, went from 20 million to 280 million. I say that to get them sucked into the part of the business side. I say there's a very lucrative business opportunity here, because everyone wants their stem cells healthy and active, and there's no other product out there other than injections that are like, $10 to $100,000 per injection. So we have that, and I let them know it's very affordable. $99 for a month's supply. You can't go to the doctor for $100 in America, to have this kind of results for just $99 a month. And you just pick how many sleeves you want to sign up, and that's it. So it's very, very simple. If you that's the kind of conversation that we've had. And we didn't need, I've never used the testimony I never had to look. I talked about my testimony, maybe a friend, but I've never had to go to the information of anyone's video or testimony to sign anybody up. I just want everyone to know that. I only mostly called. I hardly even had to put the patch on somebody. I just told them about it and they want to sign up. And I just, like Mike, I didn't give him a patch. Javi didn't get a patch. So just George, I don't think you got a patch. We just told you what it would do. So I think the best thing about the patches is ask them first if they're ready to get in. Don't just offer, we're going to mail these samples all over the world. Say, hey, if you live in the UK, we can, right through my back office, send you you can already be signed up and get your product, and there's a 30-day money back guarantee. Yeah. I mean, start there before you give everything away from your own, because you're going to have to give a lot away, but don't start with that. That's my theory. I like to just say, hey, this is what the product's doing. Do you want it? And like George, the people in your phone, the people in Helen's phone, the people in Beverly's phone, Chris's phone, they know you. I mean, our friends knew us, so we called them and said, hey, would you want to try it? You want to get on? Okay, here's how you order them. So start with there. And if they say, hey, I really got to I like to have the diamond pack, because when I sign up George, I want to mail him some sleeves so he can get going on it before they get there to him. And now he can give them back to me once he gets going on it. But that's the best way to use your product, was that they've already signed up.
Let me ask you a question. I've been playing with how many patches to give some people. So I've been giving some people 5 patches, some people 10 to try. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, I feel like I want us to signed up, so I don't want to give them too many, but between 3 and 6. I kind of like the 6, especially if I'm mailing them to somebody. Let's give a shot at it. But I do like what Onyx is saying. She didn't feel anything. You get what I'm saying? Her hair's growing longer. Her age spot went away. Her gums came back to normal. That's not feeling. Our eye doctor told us, you know, this is where your eyes were a year ago, and here's where they are. After 3 months, I was on the patch. I didn't tell him I was on the patch. He just told me. He said he's never seen a 60-year-old woman, he told Gina, with her eyes reversed in aging. We both wore the patch, and the same experience happened to us the same day with the eye doctor. We didn't feel it. He had to tell us. So you got to warn them when you get them the patches that, hey, look, not everybody is going to have every ailment taken out, but if you stay on this patch, you are going to be blown away. I mean, my nails have never grown as fast as I've seen them grow in my life. It's embarrassing how fast they're growing.
Yeah.
So there's got to be, can you imagine what's going on in your body if your nails and your toenails are growing like a weed? I mean, I got to get another clippers.
Yeah, I had to. I was.
Tina's telling me that's gross, but that's a great sign to tell you that something's going on.
Yeah, I had to have a haircut after 3 weeks. I couldn't. I was like, "What happened to my hair? It's driving me nuts."
Steve, I would like to ask. Steve, I would like to ask you a question. Yeah. I'm a swimmer, so I used to do long distance swimming, like Mile Mile, Germiston, and all those swimming distance events. So can swimmers also put those stickers on their bodies, or whichever body they can use for body cramps, stiffness, for when they do long distance swimming?
I don't think that, first of all, I know that it's able to go, they're legal. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's all kinds of different coaches, that, that might check into it, but I will say they won't come off. If you put it on, the only time the patch ever comes off for me is if I'm talking to somebody that has been like working outside, or they're sweating a bit, or they're wet for some reason, it just starts moving around. It's very hard to stick. But when I come out of the shower, I wait till my body is dry and I put the patch on. I was swimming with my grandkids a couple days ago, all day long in the pool, and the patch never came off.
Okay.
So that
now, one thing I would do, if you put the patch on, you go swimming and it comes off, put a new patch on. It's $3.30.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
But I will say that I've had some hamstring cramps, and my friends have had hamstrings. In fact, in Mike's business, some hamstrings, and immediately almost the pain goes away. So, and I know swimmers can get cramps like that. So and I put it right on the cramp.
Okay, so Kenneth muted himself out, I think. So,
he's going to the pool.
No.
All right, great. This has been amazing, Steve and Gina. You have over-delivered as always.
Let me just say this much to everybody. We believe in all of you. We're confident that anyone that plugs in and opens their mouth about the X39, it's that powerful of product that everybody can max out this team commission of $25,000 a week. It's going to take about 12 to 24 months. I'm not sure where you're at, but I know one thing, you're going to be looking at it at 24 months. You might be looking at 15,000 a week going to 25. Some of you are going to be there, but I will say this much. If you stay consistent every day following the system of the 331, there's no doubt you are going to be looking at capping it out, because it's just, look at how many people we've already got on here in this short amount of time. That's not normal networking.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was never going to come back to network marketing.
No,
because the company I was with, they in the end they said, and this is in like 2005, 6, 7. They said, forget about the product, talk about the opportunity. And I went, no, I'm getting bored with saying the same thing. There's no passion. Here is passion. Every day there's a story in either in my Spanish group or in the English group. Every single day. Birgit, who's on this call, she said, you know what? I just noticed I can wear wool. I can wear wool. I could never wear wool. And a lot of things happen. People go, wow, like Julian, who's on the call, he had tinnitus. It's almost, you know, he's had hours a day with no sound, but suddenly he went, I'm using my right arm. I couldn't use my right arm. What happened?
Amazing.
Things that just, yeah, disappear.
Well, not only do we appreciate George's leadership here, but every single one of you that's on here is a leader to us, because we're only beginning. The fact that you're coming on here this early of just learning about this opportunity tells me that you've got the leadership qualities to make this happen. Doesn't matter. You could heard our call. If you didn't hear Saturday's training, you should definitely get on to listen to that. But the main thing you want to hear see is the unity, that everyone is together. Okay. And the second thing is that they're all different personalities. So there's all different types of people talking, but they're all saying the same thing. And that's the key to duplication, is keeping it very simple and talking about the same message and not overcomplicating it. So I really want to commend everyone for coming on here and being like a pioneer with us. Realize that every time you get a little frustrated that you want a new country open, or we don't have this paper translated, we're going to all work together to figure that out. But we're like a 19-year-old startup. And if it was already smooth, George, you can know this, you know, if we came to the convention and there were 50 to 100,000 people already there, probably it's not going to be, not everyone is going to be able to have this kind of opportunity. But the fact that me and Mike went to the very first convention and there were only 1,200 people of a 19-year-old company, and they told me it was their third convention and it was global, and we brought 350, and we would have brought double that if they didn't run out of tickets. That tells me we got a huge opportunity.
I'm with it. I'm on it. I won't feel I have begun. I will consider I'm at the beginning when I've got 3 directors on each leg. That's when I'm in the beginning.
Okay. Well, remember, we've got some great training, and Mike and I have, and Javi and Gina, 20 right, 20 left. Don't get confused on that. The reason why you do that is because you want to set your people up and yourself, your business up for success, so you have plenty of people to work with. Then you're not pushing people that don't, your goals on other people. And I will say that don't underestimate, even if you have some people getting in, for maybe you're under George or Rich, or Helen, make sure that or Chris, I'm sorry, make sure that you want to have, I have a talk on there, and maybe Javi can get it to you, about putting, at least set a goal. I wanted to say 12 and 12, but I held back and I said 6 managers on the right and 6 on the left, because the comp plan, I love the way it's set up, that you can't just put 1 and 1, because that hurts the company if we don't have people that are doing some building. So if you have a manager on the right and we're on a free trip and we're all making a bunch of money, and you only have 1 manager and I have 100 managers on each side, and you've got 1 manager on one side, but you've got 50 managers on your other side, no problem, on your pay leg, and something, the one goes out of qualification, you're not going to get paid all your money. You'll get paid something, but you won't get paid all the money you're owed if you only have 1 manager that goes out of qualification. So I encourage you to work on both your legs, make them because it's so simple to talk to people about this patch. I mean, I got to the point, draw straws, put them on the right, put them on the left, put them on, I mean, there's so many people. So that's going to happen to every one of you. Look at the call today. It's going to happen. So make sure you put plenty of people that are go-getters on both sides of your leg, and you don't realize how much income can happen and how fast they'll grow when they see a lot of people getting placed underneath them, and you get the matching bonus is very, very lucrative. I've never seen
very lucrative. That when I understood that, it was like, wow, there's no limit when we talk about the matching bonuses.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you are brand new, so you might not understand all this, but I want to talk to some of the folks that understand it a bit, so then they can teach you. But we're serious about helping people set themselves up for the right success. And by the way, we're going to be starting our 90-day run starting Saturday. So we'll be going over a lot of this, and every single Saturday we have a 1-hour training. It is recorded, but we'll have it so you can. Another thing you could possibly too, I don't know how you do. You just play the video, but because so many people speak English, those of you in the different countries, you could have, let's just say you do a Saturday training in your own country. You could do the same if they speak English, like let's say we're in Australia or South Africa. You could play the training, that we do here on Saturday. Like that's your training. So you might
That's
start and open it up. You play the training, and then you could do a little follow-up and, you know, just kind of some highlights that you need to cover in South Africa or say something. But you can use our trainings. You're taking ownership, but you're using the same videos that we're making.
Yeah.
So consider that. You could do that.
Thank you,
No.
sir. Thank you, Gina. Thank you,
You're
Steve.
welcome. You're
I love
welcome.
it.
Thank
Guys.
you. Thank you for having us be a part, Javi and Mike.
And
Let's
thank
make
you.
2023 your best year ever. Everybody on here. It's
Absolutely,
gonna be fun.
absolutely. We're on
Bless you
it.
guys.
Okay, love you guys.
Thank you,
So
guys.
proud.
God bless.
Excited
God
to be
bless.
partnered up with everyone.
God bless.
Thank you
So
so
now
much,
we-
Steve and Gina,
now
for
we got
coming
Mike.
on. Now I want to
Mike has
introduce
been patiently here.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Mike Hernandez. Take it away, my friend.
No, listen, guys, it is an honor for us to be here. And listen, one thing I've been following Stephen Gina Merritt since I first got introduced to this industry, right? Which was back in 2006. This is where I met Javi. And one thing that I've picked up from them, two things. Number one is how simple they keep things. Many times we tend to just complicate it because there is so much technology and so much that we get excited about, the more based on how much we learn about this. But what we learn about this should just keep us excited, but not necessarily share that information. Keep it simple. They are geniuses at keeping it simple, number one. Number two, the other thing that I've learned from them that has helped me get to the level where I'm at is how productive and how strategic they are with their time. They get up and they do work all day long. I have never met a couple that works harder than Steve and Gina. They have a lot of fun, but they are serious about getting stuff done. So that's the same thing with me. I don't care if and Javi knows, I've gotten up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Steve and I were making plans now to get up and do meetings at 5:30 in the morning for places in Australia, right? I go to sleep at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's not that I do that every day, but when it comes time to getting things done, because I've understood, I've been living a semi-retired life because I worked so hard years ago in my first company, and I made so much money that I can now just kick back and live life however I want to. So I wasn't planning on doing another network marketing company, but when I saw this, I said, I'm gonna work this like I have no money, because I know what it's like to make $5 million. Now I'm gonna know what it's like to make over $10 million. There's a big difference between 7 figures and 8 figures. So me, I'm keeping it very simple. This helps reactivate your stem cells. That's all I say. Let me see what it's done for you. It's doing wonders for other people. I'm not gonna get more technical than that. Number one. Number two, I am being as strategic and productive as I can with my time. I don't watch television. I don't waste my time. When I'm online looking for people. I'm not watching videos. I'm not putting bubble gum in my brain. I'm being a strategic. Guys, why? Because there's so much money to make here. This is not a game for me. This is a multi-million-dollar business for me. So I treat it as a multi-million-dollar business. If you treat it like a hobby, we're going to get hobby results. So if you are not constantly getting new testimonies, you're not doing the business. If you're not every single day, every single week, you should be having somebody calling you. Oh my goodness. I heard that testimony that I forgot who shared here.
Inge.
Listen, we have so many testimonies. I can show you my phone. Every single day we're getting flooded. But you know what? Every single day I'm looking to create more and more and more testimonies, because if we don't share this product with people, somebody else is going to. And that's money that you just had someone take out of your pocket. And not just them, but who they're going to tell, who they're going to tell, who they're going to tell. So for me, it's not a game, guys. This is a life-changing opportunity. When I started, some of you, if you don't know my story, and I'll end here. When I met Steve and Gina Merritt in 2006, I couldn't afford to pay attention. Right before I met them, I had just come out of a poverty situation by selling stuff in the garbage that I found in the garbage, selling it in a swap shop. I don't know how you call swap shops where you're from. Garage sales, swap shop, whatever. I was literally picking stuff up from the garbage and selling it because I didn't have a lot of money. So for me, when I saw this was a life-changing opportunity. So I hit it as hard as I could. And guys, I've made millions and millions, and I took those millions and made more millions. And I don't need to be doing this right now. But this is so big that I can't leave behind all the millions I know that we can generate doing this. And not only did we make millions, we made millionaires, like Steve and Gina Mary have mentioned. So I'm just telling you guys, for me, this is everything. We have something like we have never seen in our lives, and we'll probably never get another opportunity like this ever. So I don't know how aggressive you're gonna go, but I know that the ones who go aggressive are the ones who are gonna have an aggressive results. And I'm talking about changing your life, your kids' life, your grandkids' life. And today, my son is in a position where he's already a millionaire. You know why? Because I invested in my son, and my son picked up my work ethics. But I can tell you right now, that's one of the biggest things that I've been able to pick up from Steve and Gina. And that's one of the biggest things that Javi has been able to pick up from us. And that's why we're having the kind of success that we're having. So we don't play around with this, guys. You can go really light, or you can go as heavy as you want to. But I'm just telling you, the ones who are gonna be traveling the world in 5-star hotels and not worrying about when we go out, I don't look at price. You know, I want to do something, I'm going to do it. But it's because I work so hard. So this is the time to work as hard as you possibly can, so that in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you don't have to work. You're going to work if you want to, when you want to, with who you want to. And that's the opportunity that we have here right now. What happened?
We work so hard, buddy.
Okay, my wife just corrected me. We work so hard, buddy.
Yeah.
So guys, I appreciate you guys having us here. Congratulations, to all of you, because listen, we just started. Look how many people are here. Every one of you have the opportunity to become a leader, because when I started in 2006, like I said, not only could I not afford to pay attention, I had no influence. Everyone who I spoke to, my friends and family members, knew that I was broke, so they didn't want to pay attention to me. But I knew that it didn't depend on me. It depended on how many people I can share the product with and have them see that the product works. It wasn't based on me, it was based on our product. So it doesn't matter where you are in life. My point is, you can get this going if you share enough product with enough people. So invest in yourself, invest in your business, and invest your time in the income producing activities, which is what? Share product, share product, share product, share product, share product, follow up, and get people into plug into the system. It's that simple. I'm a high school dropout. I'm not the most educated guy, but I have a lot of common sense and a lot of street smart. And that's all I've been able to apply into this. So thank you very much. I know we've been here for a while, and count on us. Javi, love you, my brother. George, Chris, what's your wife's name?
Lucinda.
Lucinda, how are you? And listen, I love it when couples come together, and I know sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes you're going to have to go and prove your couple that there's really something here. But if you go ahead and you do that, you're going to gain your partner. And when couples come together and do this, it's just an incredible thing that happened. That's why my wife corrected. We've worked hard.
Let me tell you this. Yvette, who's on the call, her husband is Davo. You've met them, yes? It's the first time they've both been doing their own separate businesses with LifeWave. It's the first time they're doing business together.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow, thank you for that, Mark. I can see you and your wife having so much fun together. It's just so awesome to watch. It's an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you.
No, my pleasure. And Chris, I'm sorry.
Lucinda.
Lucinda. Chris, I look forward to traveling the world with you guys, having fun, you know, and blessing other folks. You know, that's what this business is about. So thank you for allowing me to pour into your night, your day. And again, count on me too. I'm here to help everybody. So God bless you guys. Good night, good day. And I don't know exactly where you are, but appreciate it.
Thank you,
Mike.
Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Coming on, brother.
Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. You wanted to see the leadership, well, you got it. So everyone here has a story. I have a story. Chris has a story. George has a story. Beverly has a story. Lisa has a story. Network marketing is all about telling stories. Okay, what has the business has done for you? What has the product has done for you? And you build it from there. Okay, keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. It's how Steve and Gina, Mike Hernandez, and myself created an amazing business. And we're doing it here, and we want to do it with you. So we had 40 people here, and a lot of people couldn't come on because of the light sharing that you have in South Africa.
Load shedding, I love it.
Light sharing, whatever
like
it is.
Better. Let's call it light sharing from now on.
Tomato, change batteries. I have no idea. But you know what? Next month we'll have 80. So momentum has started here in all the countries that are here on this call. I'm proud of each and every one of you. I'm proud to do business with each and every one of you. Mike and I are committed to get you guys from where you are to where you want to be.
Me too.
All right.
Amen.
And so is George.
Amen.
I'm sorry.
God
so
bless you guys.
I'm done here. If anyone has nothing else to say, let's keep building.
Awesome. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, guys. Your leadership is absolutely impeccable. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this. I can't wait to walk the stages. When you guys were talking about how many people were at the convention, all I see is opportunity. Because I can tell you something, by the end of the year, we're going to fill stadiums globally. And I look forward to walking on the stages together with all you guys. I visualized it, manifesting, it's done already. It's already done.
Amen.
Enjoy your evening, guys.